And in these strange times of COVID-19, everything is okay? Are you living the pandemic in a good way?
Well, I have to say that we are really lucky. We've been really lucky. Everybody is healthy. And even me working as a teacher, I've been healthy the whole year. And I have to say, I'm very grateful for having such a good immune system. And my whole family has too. So we're all fine and we're safe. The only thing is that, we haven't been in Norway. We haven't been to Norway for 1.5 years. So I am still living in Germany with my little family here, but the rest of my family is in Norway. So we haven't seen each other for 1.5 years, but okay. Also, this will pass, and the main thing is that we are healthy. So yes, and I'm glad to have my regular 9-to-5 job with being a teacher for children and young people with special needs, because there hasn't been much of concert playing lately.
Yeah. Finally, at the end of this year, maybe we can have some normal situation. I don't know how is in Germany the vaccination, but here are going considerably fast right now.
Yes, in Germany too, but we are still in another lockdown right now. So schools are closed, and we're having, at least in this area, so we're doing online education for everybody, and the numbers are still too high to open everything. So I mean, okay, Germany is has very strict rules concerning this, but okay, it seems like many people are going for the vaccination, and for my part, I would like to wait a little bit, because I suffered really bad health issues after the swine flu vaccination, which I had to take back then because of working in New York, going to the US, and it was a requirement to be able to cross the borders and to fly to the US. So I had to take it, and I was really, really badly ill for 3 months with going in and out of hospital. And I've actually never been to the hospital in my whole life, except from my own birth and the birth of my son. So I would like to watch it a little bit, and I thank my good immune system for having been safe throughout these months. And but then eventually, I guess, if I would have to see my family, we would have to reconsider the situation. Yes, I really want to travel back to Norway again as soon as possible, and we're also going to move back to Norway during the next years.
Yeah, it's very hard for the people who have relatives in other countries.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but things are well here. They are, I have to say, and I'm very glad for having such a good working place, for having my my wonderful fans and friends and followers who have been so patient since 2016, for a new release. Yeah. So I have to say, due to the fact that we've had numerous lockdowns here in Europe, I had the time to finish my EP, Have Courage, Dear Heart.
Yeah, here we are to talk about new music, new release, as you mentioned, Have Courage, Dear Heart, and your career, because I think it is an interesting point for you right now. First of all, how do you feel with this new EP? What are your sensations with this release?
It's a huge how do you say, happiness of gratitude, as I said already. Mentioning my fans and friends and followers, everybody's been so patient, and of course it means to me it's a huge step. It's a milestone step in my career as well as for me personally. There's been a couple of years, especially the years between end of 2015, end of 2017. Those were really, really hard years for me to, gathering my life together, reorganizing everything. And my mind wasn't really concentrated and clear enough for releasing an album or an EP or anything back then. So it was a complete new start, a restart of everything in my life. But during these years, since 2015, Tommy Olsson, who also composed Aegis for Theatre of Tragedy, he's been sending me music throughout all these years. And he said, whenever you are ready, just let me know.
I have to say, I'm still in love with that album. Amazing album.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am just so grateful for having been part of this, and it's a legend. I have to say, even if I'm part of it, I have to say it's a very special album. Yes, a very special composition. So Tommy and I have been in contact for years, and he keeps sending me stuff, songs. And when I was ready to sit down, and my mind was clear, everything was settled, I just started writing lyrics like out of the sleeve. It was just the flow was in there in the whole creative process, and all of a sudden we had like 6 songs finished. And now when as this pandemic situation came up, I couldn't travel to Norway to record the vocals for the last 3 or 4 songs. So we got stuck somehow, and we decided to release the EP. It's like, being on the middle way, on the middle road to something big, which is the 6th full-length album. But we thought, let's release a couple of songs now and continue working on the album. But we definitely need a little bit more time now due to the situation we have. And I can't travel to see Tommy, can't travel to Norway. So we're trying to solve the situation now. Me setting up Cubase at home, trying to gather all the knowledge I need to be able to record myself. So yes,
as we mentioned, we learn a lot of Skype, Zoom, Cubase, Pro Tools, etc.
Yes, exactly. So yes, that's the next thing I will have to take, and the next technical issue I will have to deal with. I've always been on the other side of the microphone, so but here I am. I mean, we're still young, we can still learn a lot. So yes, the 6th full-length album will come out. 2/3 is finished. So but here for you, Have Courage, Dear Heart is somehow a present, for you not having to wait much longer for anything coming out, being released under Liv Kristine.
I'm sure that, in my opinion, you mentioned during your career, you have very significant moments, and some of them not especially good ones. And you reborn with fresh air, good ideas. It happened with Liv's Eyes, with Theatre of Tragedy, and now with your solo material. I'm sure it have been not easy, but you did it, and I think you are close to not sing anymore a few years ago, as you mentioned.
Yes, I really needed a break after hitting rock bottom in 2016, and yes, we will leave the Liv's Eyes chapter alone, and it's past is past. I would say Theatre of Tragedy is still a thing that pops up every time I go back to Norway. we gather for a couple of beers, or we gather for a quick rehearsal. We still gather up, so I see the Theatre of Tragedy chapter not really as fully ended. We don't know actually if we would be able to gather up for more releases or for more shows. We don't know yet. There is maybe there are still things to come up, but it's like there is no label behind it. There is no rush about anything, and we keep releasing vinyls and re-releasing the earlier albums. So the Theatre of Tragedy is still around, and it's just a pleasant moment every time we gather up, and every time there is a new release, or I mean a re-release. So
every time you mention Theatre of Tragedy, and the only change that doing something in the future, I'm just shaking.
Yeah, well, it's there is
because it could be amazing to see something new for the band, or I don't know, a show, something.
Absolutely, it would be great. It's just like everybody, all the early members of Theatre of Tragedy are spread around the globe right now. So there is really nothing that is planned or said or done. Nothing. It's just great to be together, and there is passion in everything that has to do with Theatre of Tragedy. I have to admit it. I miss the guys. I do. So let's see. We are still young, and we are still creative. And for me, it has been a great opportunity now to stay present with my solo band. And the good thing about having a solo band is that you can't get kicked out.
Of course.
Of course.
That's the same that Tarja mentioned 2 years ago in an interview.
Yes, you're right. Yes, right. Yes.
Talking about now that appears the name of Theatre of Tragedy, I'm sure you know, of course, you know how relevant this band was for I think for a whole generation. For example, I remember when I read the Nightwish biography, and Thomas mentioned the as one of the big influences in the beginning of his musical career as a teenager, Theatre of Tragedy. You were pioneers in a lot of things.
Yes, Thomas is really sweet. He told me there wouldn't have been Nightwish without Theatre of Tragedy, which really brought tears to my eyes. And back then, when the whole thing with Theatre of Tragedy kind of exploded into the musical universe, we were so young, and we weren't really aware of what was going on. I remember, I just a couple of weeks ago, I posted a photo of Tommy Lindahl, the first guitar player of Theatre of Tragedy, and myself in the studio recording a cassette with four.
I remember that post.
Yeah. Yes, it's crazy how time flies, and it's crazy how everything just gathered up in the universe after that. And I guess because everything happened so quickly, and everything turned to grow in dimensions we had never dreamt of, all of a sudden we found ourselves on tours. We toured Europe, and then it was Mexico, and then it was back to Scandinavia, and then Russia again, and then Mexico. And so we were flying all over the globe. And the more you grow with your band, with your art, the more people are getting interested in earning money on you. I mean, some business partners really cooperated in a very positive way, whereas some just wanted to suck the money and time out of you and make money with you and through you. Yeah, through you. And when I moved to Germany in 1998, well, communication wasn't that great back then as right now, as we just talked about. There were misunderstandings. We were young. The communication wasn't that great. And as we sat down a couple of years ago and really talked about everything, how could it happen that we actually split ways when everything was going so well? Well, yes, we solved it. We solved it, and we saw that so many people had taken interest in our matters, in the matters of theater of tragedy. They mingled in, they had opinions. There was a lot of money in this, and we were just too young and too naive to grasp the situation and to actually sit down and talk about the problems that weren't even created by ourselves.
And as you mentioned, it's not the same when at the 20s or in the 40s. In the 40s, you're more mature. You can talk about more easily about more things. And as you said, I think it's easy that a person of 20 years will be very overwhelmed of all this success and all these things that happened.
Absolutely. So we had our moments. We had tears in our eyes, gathering up for a few beers downtown Stavanger in Norway, just talked about everything and how that could possibly happen. Today it wouldn't happen. I would just, Skype. We would Skype and we would say, hey, we actually love each other. We are really, really good friends. We've been friends since our teens. And we are sticking together no matter what the surroundings really accept from us, how much money is in there, what people want from us. We stick together. So, yeah. That's it. But okay, it was lovely to talk about it, to just clear the horizon, to clear the heart, and to actually maybe open up the doors for some music in the future. Who knows?
It's amazing to hear this. Amazing.
Good.
It's amazing. To be in a band, it's not easy. Different personalities and interests. Thinking in all these experiences, obviously theater of tragedy is different, but if you have an offer to join a band, would you consider or maybe better to follow with a solo career or even something that you know perfectly, like theater of tragedy or these kind of things?
I would love to, if the main thing for me is a passion, creativity, loyalty, and respect for each other. It's so important. And that was also the reason why I joined the band of my sister, Midnattssol. Yeah, that was a beautiful thing that happened as my sister realized, okay, my big sister is not really involved in music right now, so she asked me if I wanted to join Midnattssol, which is a lovely, beautiful thing. And then last year I got a song from somebody called Pauli, from a band called Coldbound.
Yeah. That's another thing I want to mention. Yeah, of course.
Exactly. And that song just opened up my creative heart. And Pauli is one of the best friends of my soon-to-be husband, Michael. They've been on tour together. And they know each other very well. They're like brothers. And that's how Pauli got in touch with me, through Michael. And I heard the song, I fell in love, and I thought, well, if he's able to write this song, there is definitely more coming from that place. So I waited for a while, and then Pauli said, what if we... And Mayu was already in the band, and Mayu and Pauli actually said, well, actually we should be 3. So that happened, the magic triplet. happened, and that's cold bound. So yes, if there is passion, loyalty, friendship, honesty, creativity.
And during all these years in the music, you have lots of collaborations with a lot of musicians and bands. I guess it's something that you like to do. What a project or a band need for your yes when asked us about collaboration? The passion, I guess, as you mentioned.
Passion, yeah. If I listen to a piece of music or a part of a piece of music of a composition, if I really get that idea, of about what to do there and then, and what to sing and how to sing it, and I communicate that with the band or the artist, and we all end up on the same frequency, then it's clear to me that's what we are doing here. So then I'm in. That's it. And I'm so grateful for all these chances, to still reach out to the world and to still be creative, even if I haven't, or until the 7th of May, hadn't released any of my own albums. It's just such a beautiful thing for which I'm grateful, deeply grateful, that bands and musicians from all over the globe have reached out to ask me to go for cooperation, and that's a beautiful thing. And I just released my new homepage, www.livkristine.net, and I had to complete the list of projects and corporations. I call them experiences. On my homepage, it's a damn long list, and I had a big, huge smile on my face putting together all the bands and the artists. It's a wonderful thing. It is.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot. There's a lot. Um, Talking about the music, these days I was listening a lot your different records. For example, today I was listening Verbine, and I don't remember exactly that CD. And today I'm pulling in my record CD. Come on, this is a great record. I don't remember just this impression the first time I was listening. And I listened today also Coldbound, the new EP. It's just a line of your with your stamp in this music. It's very recognizable.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your compliments, and Vervain and my last EP, and also the single Skylight, which I released, and a Slumber of Decay, Coldbound. Yeah. It's so in alignment with where I am right now in my life, and I have to say that every song is a prayer to the universe somehow. It's a bit scary sometimes, I have to say. It's a bit scary. Yeah, it's like holding up a mirror. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, because it's part of your. I don't know if it's the correct word, but your personality, your feelings, your thoughts.
Absolutely, you're so right, and it's great. Yeah, it's good for my soul. It is.
Yeah. Returning to this new EP and listening to the songs, just to comment each song a little bit. For example, Serenity, it's a great song with this elegant goth rock, very intense. It's like the beauty in darkness, this song.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The Have Courage, Dear Heart is very intimate. And your voice appears, in my opinion, brighter than ever. I can feel your technique improve a lot with the years.
Thank you very, very much. It was probably also a reason why it took a while for me to release my own single EP and soon the album. There is a reason for this, and that is that I also needed to work on my inner voice, and I also feel that my outer voice has become much stronger. It's more somehow I don't know. Yeah, it's just stronger and it feels even more authentic than ever. Um, and that's also one reason why today I'm giving vocal coaching lessons to other singers out there to help them to strengthen their inner voice and outer voice, because I think the two really belong together. And I have really good news. Following my inner call of giving vocal coaching in Cyprus in September, I will have my first master classes, 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's soon gonna be. You're the first one to know. It's soon gonna be on my pages, on my sites. But I'm so happy to be able to realize this dream. Absolutely, because this is something I'm really burning for. This is something that comes from the heart. So Karma Sonic is well, I founded Karma Sonic in 2019, and I started teaching in 2000 and later 2019, and now in 2021 Cyprus, I will give my first master classes after hundreds of vocal coaching sessions with people from all around the world, from 5 to 55, from Chile, Spain, Portugal, Italy, United Kingdom, and Scandinavia, you name it. It's been absolutely amazing. And I've collected enough experience now to say I'm ready to give master classes.
I'm sure all the people that are interested in their classes can learn a lot with all your experience. And I have to say, I don't know why, but female singers like you, I don't know, previously I mentioned Tarja and so many others, with the years, sing better than ever, I have to say. Because I don't know, and it doesn't happen the same with men's.
Oh, okay. Do you?
I have to say, because a lot of female singers that are you care about your voice, you improve. It's your instrument, in fact.
It is an instrument. Yes, you're so right. Yes.
And I don't have the same impression with all the men that are singing different bands, these veteran people, veteran bands that are in the scene for lots of years. That I think, for example, I think I'm sure you can sing all the material of your career, Liv's Eyes or Theater of Tragedy, everything. I'm sure you can sing perfectly.
And it still works. It still works. It does.
And I'm sure that not so many men singing high notes are in the same possibilities with all stuff.
It's a good point. I have to check it out, because momentarily I have just as many male singers as female singers in my private lessons, and it's a very interesting question. Yes, I have to say that most one thing that I consider as a very important thing is that most female singers, after having given birth to a child, after that the voice will change and get stronger and clearer and more direct. Something happens.
That's something that I asked to last year during the lockdown. I asked this to Sharon from Within Temptation.
Yeah.
About, because a friend of mine who sings in a local band here know about that interview and asked me, please ask Sharon about if he knows something when give the birth, because I'm feeling very different, because my friend have the second children. I feel very different when I sing with my band right now.
It is true. something happens. Yes, and for me, it was a process going on since the birth of Leon in 2003. And I would have to say it happened in 2019 when I actually felt that, okay, now I felt like I had kind of reached a point where I just felt that 100% security in my voice of being able to master any kind of singing manner I want to, any kind of song I ever sung in my whole life, at any time, at any place. It's a wonderful feeling to just feel, yes, to feel that you have this endless energy to produce, to resonate, to produce sound the way you want to, and have so much fun with it. Well, actually, I have to say I've always been very, I always felt very light and very easy when singing. I have really, really good vocal cords, and I have been singing since I was 2 years old. I have been training since I was 3 years old, as far as I can remember. And I never studied music. I never studied singing at the university, but still, I studied music and singing. How do you say that? Self-didactively since I was 3 years old. So it's so deeply in my soul and in my heart, and I can't not do it. I always have to do it. If there's any chance to sing, I will sing. And there were moments after the big crash in 2016 where I thought I will never ever have anything to do with a record company, with the music business ever again. I was so disappointed about everything that happened. And then my voice also kind of got weaker. I felt weak when I was singing. Being in 2019, when my life settled again, and I really felt like, okay, heaven and earth, it's all there, it's good, let's get started. It was there, it was back again, and stronger than ever. Yeah.
It's a pity that usually a lot of musicians are saying the same about the music industry. And at the end, music industry, maybe it's very hard to say that destroys music careers, but are not very, I don't know how I can say, they're not very helpful for musicians. At the other side. Well, we mentioned previously Nyquist, for example, and now we happened in a few years ago all this thing with Marco that leave the band, and why? And say these reasons. But the music industry, all the pressure, the money, all that are surrounded the band. And I guess especially in a band like this, with all this success that they are having right now, could be very.
You know, the music business doesn't give you a good voice or a good talent. It doesn't.
Correct.
There is a human being behind this talent, and the music business can provide chances, can offer possibilities, but the business can be so destructible at the same time, so destructible because they don't give you a good voice. A voice comes from within. You need to resonate from within. That's where it comes from. So if you put a lot of pressure on an artist, and you see artists going down after having been on the red carpet, collected the Grammy or any kind of prize, Armani dresses and big cars, and being on the red carpet, it lasts for a while, and then somebody else comes around and your position is taken up by somebody else, by the next superstar. So especially with this idol thing, that is it's a very strange way to a very strange light to put any artist in, because that's actually not how it should work. I've met artists who won competitions like the Idol thing and
Yeah.
Voice of Germany, Voice of, yeah, who experienced a huge mental and financial crash after the next winner came.
It's just always searching the next artist to burn and to make
Yeah,
money, and next one, next one, next
yeah.
one.
And that is destructive towards an artist. I am so glad that I got the chance and actually came from those times when we went to the studio and recorded cassettes. We sat at home and how do you say that? And recorded more cassettes and copied cassettes
Yeah, yeah, I remember that times.
and got our friends and cassette collectors and record companies out there. We did it ourselves, and I'm so glad to come from that era, because it gives you kind of creative control. It does. And if you sell yourself to the music business, you you give away responsibility and other people take care of the business, but you also give away yourself. I have to say, we've seen so many artists going down after the big peaks.
And that's the thing that are doing a lot of artists like you with all the experience doing yourself. With, for example, in your case, with now with I think it's your with your fiancé are doing
Yeah.
the all the management and all these things, and are happening with a lot of artists. I know how it works, the music business. I'm doing it myself, and especially in these times of digital world.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so grateful to really be back down on earth with both my feet down, being planted safely down on earth, and Michael is helping me in any way he can. He can with Allegro Talent Media, and it just gives me the space to be authentic with everything I'm doing. So here I am. As soon as that authentic space of creativity opened up for me, there was a single, there was an EP, there is a sixth album coming up, there is a poetry collection coming up, my first poetry collection. I'm I sell a lot of paintings. Music in paintings is also a thing that I've been building up throughout the years, and people are really interested in my visual arts too, and having the possibility to give vocal coaching lessons, to travel to Cyprus to give my vocal uh, master classes. Amazing things are happening, and that began at that point when I took back responsibility, took back my power to be the creator of 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 my life in general, and to be the creator of my art.
I remember, Lisa, reading something about your painting and poetry. You are more creative than ever.
Yeah, it's it's true. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, when there is no uh, label around, no, huge amount of money coming in or any big deals, or it's just authentic now, and us doing it ourselves, me doing it myself, and it's a great feeling. And at the same time, it allows me to do my 9 to 5 job, which I really, really love. I love working with children, and that's something I always also wanted to do for many years. I can keep both, and I do not. I don't have to play a lot of gigs and tours through the year. I don't have, because I still have my regular job. That gives, a lot of freedom for my artistic work as well, because I'm not dependent on going on tours and stuff, or I don't have any deadlines really. It's so good to be the creator of my life, my personal life and my artistic life.
And I agree with you. To be in this kind of wheel of tours and releases, it's dangerous for an artist.
Dangerous. There are always people earning money through you. Yeah. That is something that came to my mind after the big crash and collapse in 2016, when I watched the whole thing from a different perspective, stepping out of emotions, not reacting so much with what happened. Okay, it hurt, but then past is past, and past should not define my here and now, because then it's going to kill my creativity and my courage to keep working, to keep going on, to take step by step, to build up my life again. So with a little bit with a different perspective, watching the past and seeing how things changed, things evolved, and seeing what actually happened after, for example, the big deals came into the game. What happened then? Did it feel more authentic? Did it give me a better voice? Did it give me a better album? No, it didn't. Actually not. There was pressure. There were so many people coming from the outside having a word, in what you were doing. All these deadlines, and you have to go on tour. You have to play gigs. There is no way of saying no, because if you get paid, you have to do it. That's it. That's how the music business is. There is nobody getting sick, getting ill, not going on tour, or you just had a a broken arm, or you just became a mother or a father. Doesn't matter.
That's the reason I think it's curious, because a lot of musicians and bands are saying exactly the same. The freedom to create and go and tour wherever the bands or the artist wants. I remember, for example, explaining the same Aaron for My Dying Bride, and maybe this is the something that gives to right now to the metal scene, except the big names, this authentic. I don't. I'm not saying the word correctly. This beauty and this.
Yes.
That people are feeling that this is authentic. When an artist or band releases an album, it's about the feelings and that they want to create, not because, as you mentioned, the band have a deadline and have to release a new album to go on tour, and the wheel keeps turning easily. And a lot of musicians are explaining the same in the last years in the interviews here in the show.
Yes, absolutely. And I see like Marco from Nightwish and also Tarja, and those, I would say, those creative persons coming from the same era as I come from, those times. Those people seem to kind of wake up now, and we have a community. There is a community out there saying we do it by ourselves, we need more time to create our lives. We have a personal life as well. We have our families, but still we want to give something to the world, because that's an inner call. It's a deep inner call. From my side, it is. I just, as already mentioned, I just couldn't stop singing, even at times when there was nothing for me in there. There was really nothing going on, and I needed to take care of my personal life. But I can't be without it. It's an inner call, and I see some of us, popping up now and saying, "Hi, good to see you again. How are you doing?" "Oh, I just decided to do it myself." Yeah. More of this will come up.
I have only happy things to do about this conversation, because you mentioned about the release of a full album, and now we can listen only these 5 songs with we don't talk about the live material that you have in the EP for the first time. I guess it could be very difficult to choose the songs that to complete, because obviously in Nagol you play a lot of songs in different years. I don't know if you have recordings of each year, but choose different songs of all your career. I think it's difficult.
It's difficult, yes, absolutely. But the show in Nagold, my annual show, that was my 8th show in Nagold in Germany, in a row. And in Nagold, my audience is international. People come from Chile, Brazil, from Spain, from Portugal, from Denmark, from Sweden, from Norway, from Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, UK. They come from everywhere, Greece. And it's such an amazing gathering. And as I realized that there would be no show in 2020 due to reasons we know of, Michael, my fiance, had the idea that why not release Liv Kristine solo for the first time, and it was such a special event as well. So I sat down with my critical hearing, my perfect hearing and critical ear, and at first I thought, really? Because I'm so critical with everything, and I just can't stand any blue notes that are not exact, 100% correct. That's just something I was born with as well. This kind of hearing, and I needed some time to find out what would work for me. So we came up with these 5 songs, and it's first time Liv Kristine solo live, and it's first time on vinyl.
And the vinyl, of course, the red vinyl, etc. It's a good, that's another point of that we were talking. That the releases are very well thinking in very taking care of the different editions.
Yes.
Something that the people that still buy music, I appreciate a lot.
Thank you very much. I'm a vinyl collector myself, so and Michael has even 5 times more than me. So vinyl is something valuable for me. That's something I grew up with. My father gave me all his Black Sabbath original vinyls.
Wow.
Yes, so Michael and I, we actually have a really cool vinyl collection all together. So being collectors ourselves, we thought that, okay, why not give something special to our fans out there who or to the Liv Kristine fans out there who also would like to have my music on vinyl. Yes.
Liv, it's a pleasure to talk with you. I'm sure you have lots of things to do. Wow, almost for 50 minutes.
It's 53 minutes, yes. But it was lovely to see you and to hear you again. I'm good to see that you're doing well, and happy to hear that your family extended since we met. My family has too. So yes, good to see that you're safe. Please take good care, and thank you for your good work and for this good interview.
Thanks to you too for your time and for your good music. I hope to see you. I hope to see you in the future in a live situation, or maybe for an orange juice. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe for another orange juice. Yes.